Alright, everyone, and welcome back to Daily Update, my 1000 Days Challenge. This is day 401. So it's actually past the halfway mark. So things has been changing up a little bit. So progress has been rather stagnant in that sense. So over the past 500 days, I would say that I've definitely made good progress in terms of my main trading account setup. You can see the balance there. So definitely I'm making good progress with no input in terms of increase of capital. So tentatively, even though I didn't increase in capital because I was actually tweaking and still changing a little bit of the formulation of the strategy goals and also in terms of risk management wise. So basically, I've been increasing in terms of both the risk management involved, in terms of the percentage that I risk per trade, in terms of the number of strategy I run, and also in terms of the number of pairs I run the same strategy through. So that's something that I've been trying to tweak towards the upside. So that explains why I'm still keeping this relatively flat. So definitely something that I'll be looking into the coming next second half of this 500 days challenge itself. In addition to that, for the experimental trade setup, definitely is not doing well. So like what I said, I'm actually revamp this entire experimental trade setup from scratch once again. I wouldn't say entirely from scratch, but revamping the entire setup itself, reviewing the setup, realizing that there isn't an edge, especially when it's being eaten away by fees, by slippages, both by entry and also by exit itself. So all this takes into account and burn away the edge very quickly in that sense, especially when you do trade more frequent, the fees does take into a larger impact in that sense. And also when you trade on shorter time frame, because when it comes to trading fees itself, for crypto in particular, it's actually based on percentages itself. So on a shorter time frame itself, the same commission rate percentage plays a bigger role, which eats away a bigger percentage of each of the strategy that you do execute in that sense. So for that, I'm actually trying to review certain strategies to see whether to am I trying to explore the scalping even within the day trading itself, day trade itself, and also in terms of exploring into options as well. So that will be on the second half. So I'll be plotting a little bit more specific timeline of how I go about to approach this for this coming year ahead, because right now we're actually at December phase itself. So I'm going to do a quick review over the past 1 to 2 weeks, for the next 1 to 2 weeks, and then I'll give you guys an update as to the next 500 days or less than 500 days, because I'll still take another 2 weeks or so before the year end, before I finalize what is it going to be like. All right, so otherwise that's more or less about it. If you guys have any questions, feel free to drop by your comments below. Oh yeah, so sorry, I forgot to cover the market structure of the day. So in terms of daily market structure, so you get US market still tentatively looks to be strong. We're maintaining at a high or near all-time high region itself, not making new all-time high, which is actually a very good sign itself, simply because we do see that there are still buyers, they are still coming in and buying in, providing this so-called Santa Claus rally, even though there seems to be some sort of selling pressure in that sense. On the other hand, for China market, it looks a little bit more shaky. So the non-tech stock seems to be doing a way lot better, maintaining and breaking above and staying above the 200-day simple moving average. On the other hand, tech stocks KWEB looks to be really, really bearish in that sense, especially for the potential delisting of certain stocks in the involvement of it, the rumors of it actually playing a really bad news to the market sentiment in that sense. So things look to be bearish and the potential support has tentatively looks to be turning into resistance on the daily chart itself. So that's something to bear in mind. And finally, for Bitcoin itself, on the daily close, definitely don't look to be great. We have technically closed below the 200-day simple moving average on the daily chart, although right now we are trying to push above it. So tentatively, as I mentioned, as long as there isn't a very strong volume break below, I'm still not negatively bearish, but bearing in mind that we do see a spike here, but we didn't close decisively below. So that's something to bear in mind. So generally, volume was good, but I wanted to close below. As you can see, the momentum is still isn't there. And seemingly, as we went all the way straight down without a very nice or decent bounce itself, I would say that this is definitely not a place for me to short, especially if you're looking on the daily or the 4-hour chart itself. Maybe on the shorter time frame, yes, but on the longer time frame, on the 4-hour or so, I wouldn't say it's a good time to short. Maybe over here, yes, but over here, tentatively, no. Yeah, of course, you could always go lower, but let's see how things goes. So with that said, I've come to the end of today. If you guys have any questions, feel free to drop by your comments below. Well, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.